Fellow Guyanese, once again I'm pleased to be here to give you an update as to what took place today in the courts. As you're aware, we continue in this struggle to secure our democracy, to protect the rights of your vote, and to ensure that the will of the people is respected here in Guyana. My brothers and sisters, there are many who claim that they will adhere to the rule of law and they will adhere to the Constitution. But if you can adhere to the will of the people and listen to the will of the people and to do what is right by the will of the people, that will that was exercised on March the 2nd, when people would have exercised their democratic right in electing a government of their choice. Today we continue to battle to secure our democracy and to have your votes counted, to ensure that the votes of District Number 4 reflect correctly the will of the people. You would recall that since the Chief Justice would have ruled that the declaration of Region 4 was unlawful, a number of events took place. And I just want to remind us of those events because there are some who are conveniently ignoring what took place from then to now and ignoring some of the commitments that different stakeholders would have made. Mr. Granger himself, after that declaration by the Chief Justice, after the Chief Justice would have ruled that the Region 4 declaration was unlawful, Mr. Granger himself committed to ensure he is not sworn in based on those results. He also committed to a full recount, and that commitment was inked under the supervision of CARICOM by Mr. Granger and Bar Jagdeo, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party. So all the parties, all the small parties, all the PPP, the APNU, AFC, all agreed to a recount. The entire international community, observers, and all those who would have commented on the state of affairs would have all alluded to the fact that we need to have this recount done, and done so transparently to accurately reflect the will of the people. After that, we know that GCOM itself made a decision to ensure that we have a recount. GCOM made a decision supporting the recount, and that decision still stands. The decision by GCOM to have a recount still stands. For a matter of fact, the chairwoman herself has reiterated that this decision is a decision of GCOM. She's reiterated that she is committed to this decision, and she's reiterated that she has ordered that the recount be done. So these are the factual position as to where GCOM is now. We also knew that APNU AFC, through one more, would have filed a case seeking to stop the recount or have the recount deemed unlawful. Those are cases that are engaging the courts as we speak. However, today the court met to rule on whether it had jurisdiction, first of all, to listen to that case, or for that case to proceed. The court ruled that yes, it had jurisdiction, but in a similar breath, whilst the court ruled it had jurisdiction, the court also ruled that the SOPs that the People's Progressive Party acts be laid in the court, that the rule against those SOPs being made available in the court. So the way forward is that the People's Progressive Party, through our lawyers, Mr. Jagdeo, we are filing an appeal to the full court. We are filing an appeal in relation to the ruling of jurisdiction, and we are hoping to have a stay of that ruling and a stay of the trial moving forward, because the trial date was set to commence on Monday, to have a stay on that. Now, fellow Guyanese, this issue can be simply resolved by us doing to what all of us would have committed ourselves to. That is the national recount. Rather than exposing our country, rather than exposing our democracy, rather than having the state of affairs in our country today, where not only the business community, but every citizen is uneasy. Every citizen, the entire system is collapsing around us. Our international reserves is plunging downwards. Our gold reserve has deteriorated. And whilst all of this is going on, we have to deal with COVID-19. And whilst we urge all Guyanese to take the necessary health precautions in safeguarding yourselves and your families, I want to say that COVID-19 is much, much more than a public health issue. It has serious social, economic, and political implications. And the response to COVID-19 has to be a holistic response, one that would be able to ensure our economy continue to stay afloat, businesses continue to stay afloat, the private sector continue to perform, one that would ensure that our productive sector is supported to stay alive, one that would ensure the necessary adjustments are made in taxes so that we can withstand not only the public health implication, which is grave, but also the social and economic impact. Fellow Guyanese, I think at this point in our history, all of us have a responsibility to speak up now, to speak up and to ensure that our country proceed in a pathway that is democratic, proceed in a pathway that is stable. What is happening now is going to drive investment away from us. What is happening now is leading to a lot of distrust in our country as a whole, not only the political system, but our country as a whole. When the democratic rights of people is eroded, is the strongest signal of a failed state any country can send to investors. We don't need this at this time. One commentator said from the APNU-AFC at a press conference, they want to sit down and talk. But the first thing you have to do is to commit to this country that you're willing to move forward through a democratic pathway. And that democratic pathway must be the counting of the people's vote, must be ensuring the fundamental rights of electing a government of your choice is protected. We must ensure that process is completed. We must ensure that a democratically elected government based on the will of the people is sworn into office. And yes, I agree that there is a lot on the agenda that we must talk about in moving our country forward. Greater inclusiveness, greater participation, constitutional reform. These are all things we spoke about on the campaign trail. But we cannot commence the conversation from an illegal platform. We cannot commence the conversation from a platform of mistrust and distrust in each other. We have to commence the conversation on a platform of fairness, dignity, honesty, and respect for the will of the people. And that platform requires us to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Have the recount, declare the true results, and have the government of the people's choice assume office, so that together we can take our country forward, together we can rebuild our international image, and together we can send a strong signal internationally that Guyana is ready to stand up, protect, and safeguard its democratic principles. I urge all Guyanese to play a part now. I urge the international community to continue to press forward as we seek to protect the very fragile democratic environment we live in today. With these words, thank you, God bless you, and have a safe weekend. Thank you very much.